Well, I think we're just fine. I can't complain.
Oh, good. All right, well, should we get started?
Welcome to Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture too. Happy to be here today with you. Happy to speak Ojibwe with you. Welcome to Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo. Morning. This is Randy Paone on KREZ Radio, the voice of the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation, and it's time for the morning traffic report on this rainy bicentennial 4th of July. Let's go out to Lester Falls Apart in the KREZ traffic ban, broken down at the crossroads. A big truck just went by. Now it's gone. Well, there you go, folks. Looks like just another busy morning. And I just got a news bulletin that says Maddie and John Builds the Fire are hosting a 4th of July party at their house. And remember, it's BYOF. Bring your own fireworks. On July 4, 1976, my mother and father celebrated white people's independence by hosting the largest house party in Coeur d'Alene tribal history. I mean, every Indian in the world was there. And then, at 3 in the morning, when everyone had passed out on couches, chairs, the floor, a fire rose up like General George Armstrong Custer and swallowed up my mother and father. I don't remember that fire. I only have the stories. And in every one of those stories, I could fly. Eileen, your son's name is Victor Ennett.
Yes, it is.
It's a good name. It means he's gonna win.
I don't know.
I was just a baby when Arnold Joseph saved me from that fire and delivered me into the hands of my grandmother. And Victor Joseph was just a baby too when his father saved me from that fire.
You saved my grandson's life.
Well, it was nothing. I didn't even think about it. I just...
You saved Thomas. You did a good thing.
I didn't mean to. You know, there are some children who aren't really children at all. They're just pillar of fire that burn everything they touch. And there are some children who are just pillars of ash that fall apart if you touch them. Me and Victor, we were children born of flame.
Yeah. There's a song by
and
Bruce
ash.
Springsteen. It's Dancing in the Dark. Wow, is that out of tune? No, let's not do that song.
Springsteen.
Let's try this again. Sound okay? Good. Thanks. Today was gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you got to do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart went out. I know you heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads that led the way were winding. All the lights that led the way were blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. So maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Oh, wow. It's about
What are you doing?
I'm dancing. I got to boogie.
You got to boogie. You like the nightlife?
I do like the nightlife. I like the nightlife, and I've got to boogie. And apparently this morning we gotta have like 3 intros to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, bonjour everyone. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo, a live stream podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nana Boozhoo. This is Natasha.
This is Natasha. Bonjour, everyone. Welcome to the show.
This is Michael Lyons. Hey everyone. Welcome to the show. Yeah, real smooth, buddy. I don't know. I get tongue-tied. This is why they pay me the big bucks, because I'm smooth. I'm smooth like peanut butter.
Are you smooth like crunchy peanut butter?
No, I'm smooth like smooth Jif. Anyway, hey, what's going on? Oh, wow, look at this. We got Diane's here, sweetie.
No way.
Bonjour, Diane. And Michael Scott Werner. Bonjour.
Bonjour, Michael Scott Werner.
Cousin Missy. Missy says, nice spelling if beautiful, cuz of beautiful. Oh, did you misspell the word beautiful in the live stream? Oh, that sounds like me. What's the name of this live stream? Can I say it? Oh, sorry. Michael's got dyslexia. Dyslexia. When I was a kid, they told me I had a attention deficit disorder. I never paid attention.
Hey.
So Boozhoo, thank you. We'll change that. We'll fix it when we edit the replay. And Ruby, Mino Giga Jabe. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Ruby.
Ruby, I'll have you. Jim Dunn, Bonjour Niji.
Bonjour, Jim.
Tesoros de Tomas. Bonjour, Tesoros de Tomas.
Bonjour, Tesoros.
John Redcorn. I can't keep her together, Captain. I can't keep her together. We need more power. She's breaking apart, Captain. Full speed ahead, Scotty. I was watching the Next Generation, and Scotty was trapped in a transporter beam for like 75 years or something. I think every single character from the original Star Trek somehow found their way back on the Enterprise. Like Spock, he was still alive. And Captain Kirk is all chubby riding horse in the Nexus. I mean, these guys, they never die. It's just bad writing. It's just great writing. It's just awesome writing. No, it's crunchy. I can't keep her together, Captain. Today is the Ojibwe word of the day. Neo-Geezer good. It's the 4th day. This 5-year mission to go forth and explore strange new worlds. To seek out new life.
To boldly go where no man has gone before, you bunch of sexists.
To know however you identify. Actually, in the next generation, he said, till no one has gone before. Do 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 do. Now you're singing Star Trek.
Oh, that's something else, isn't it?
Star Trek. The movie Star Trek. La 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 la. Do 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 do. There used to be words for the theme song to Star Trek.
Was there really?
Oh, yeah. It was like, Luke Skywalker, his uncle and aunt got fried, so he joined the other side of the Jedi. Then he kissed his sister, but he didn't know that she was his sister till later in the show. Do 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 do. That's high. I know. Anyway, all right, let's get serious, you guys. You didn't tune in here to see me clowning around. We're here to learn Ojibwe, dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
That's how cartoons swear. That's how that, who was that redneck on Bugs Bunny cartoon?
Yosemite Sam?
Yeah, Yosemite Sam. He was always like, dadgummit. But we knew what he meant to say. Something about the Jews.
No.
Dadgummit. Yosemite Sam had to be racist too.
No, he wasn't racist.
Yeah, he was. Old Southern cowboy. Minnow. Good. What is good? Today I would like to discuss the good, the true, and the beautiful. Minnow. Debwewin. Mikwadizi. What is it that makes something good? Why is Kiss music so good? What makes it good, sweetie?
I think it's a subjective thing. I don't know if it's just good in the universe.
Is there such a thing as something that is objectively good?
Yeah, because there's objective evil. Because that's the truth.
That's the truth. This is what they don't want you to believe. When they're trying to blow your mind with, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There is no truth. It's all subjective. Eventually you come down to, well, nothing's good or bad, but what you call it is, And that's how the degenerates get their way. They go, no, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, because there is no good. We call these people degenerates because unless you can recognize the lie, the Gewanimo, when they say, oh no, there is no such thing as objective beauty in the universe. That's just subjective. They want you to believe that there's no such thing as bad, mudgy, and there's no such thing as manadud, ugly. They say, no. I'm telling you, this painting of a vase of flowers by Van Gogh is you might think it's ugly. I think it's beautiful. All right, I'm doing it, sweetie. I'm looking for pictures.
No, we're not going to do that anymore, remember? Because it wastes time on the show.
All right.
And besides, the Boozhoo crew knows what you're talking about.
All right. Vincent Van Gogh's Sunflowers, the famous $1 million vase. Well, but it just makes it a better joke if you can actually see it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'll just do this joke real quick, and then it'll make it quicker.
Okay.
So, in the news, did you hear this, sweetie?
What's that?
Amy Schumer is going to host the Oscars. Amy Schumer is this year's Oscar hostess.
No, get out of here. That's Miss Piggy.
Oh, really? I can't tell them apart. All right. So, done with that joke. Now I'm going to look for fancy artwork, because I need to make a point here, sweetie, about good, true, and beautiful. And I'm real deep and artistic like this. Just ask anybody, sweetie. They know me. I hang out with Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist.
Yeah.
Here it is, see? It doesn't take me any time at all. Not that it matters. But this was backwards. All right. Art. Okay. I don't think it started then. I don't think it started with this. But this is bad. Mudgy. Bad. It's just objectively bad in every way. The subject matter is dumb. He just looked around the room and went, oh, there's some flowers. I'm going to paint that. And then he looked down in his paint. What's that called when you put your paints on it?
I want to say pate, but that's not right.
Palette.
The palette.
He put paint on the palette. He looked down at his actually he just looked at the tubes of paint. And here's the thing about coloring. I don't really paint, but I've done a lot of marker coloring, you know. You don't use the color yellow nearly as often as you use green. I guess in the old days they probably mixed their own color green. But if you're using markers, like pre-mixed color, you're going to have just tons of extra yellow. You can never find enough reason to use the color yellow. Well, I guess it's going to be the sun again in this picture because I got tons of... Well, Van Gogh went, I'm going to use up some of my color yellow and just make this an almost monotone painting with highlights of brown against a whitish background. And, oh yeah, real creative. What's that, a yellow... Is that a tablecloth? Or are these yellow flowers sitting on the floor? Anyway, art, you guys. This is just, it's not just ugly. I'm on a dud. Because it is. It's ugly. But it's also bad. It's not very realistic. Obviously, the guy who did it, Vincent van Gogh, the most popular artist of all time, after Michelangelo, who actually deserves his fame. But,
This really gets you mad, doesn't it?
it kind of does. I don't know. Like I'm not, you people think I'm joking. No, I really, I think it's so bad that it's almost evil. You know. Mudgy, bad. Kiwanamo. The lie. So this is it. Your art teachers and stuff, they lied to you. They told you that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that some people will find something beautiful, and some people will find that same thing ugly. But there is no such thing. Well, there is, because that was ugly. Now let me show you something beautiful, sweetie.
You gotta show him a picture of me?
Yeah, this is a picture of Natasha. I'm going to find a beautiful picture. Good art. Something objectively beautiful. An English Ojibwe coloring book. This is a painting with a skunk saying, "Yay, gimme one." Yay, it's raining. Gimme one. All right? I hope I'm not embarrassing you, Michael. Go ahead. I'm trying to sell those. Yeah. So, Michael, nobody cartoonist, right? Well, this guy drew a picture of rain with a skunk dancing with a red nose who was actually talking. Yeah, give me one. He's got just the lightest little hint of clouds in the background against a white sky. Because that's what it's like when it rains. It's actually a white sky. You don't see dark black clouds. There's a skunk, or not a skunk, but a fox. Oh gosh. He's got an umbrella and he's smiling. An English Ojibwe coloring book, right? And then look at that. Leaves in the foreground. There's Michael's. Okay. So, who's better? Michael Lyons or Vincent van Gogh?
I think Michael's a better artist.
Thank you, Natasha. I do too. You can order an English Ojibwe coloring book or other books by Michael Lyons. Like Buju Ojitimu. Amic's Blood. This is shameless. Why am I doing this, sweetie?
Because you're shameless. You got no shame.
I got no shame.
Capitalist.
And I'm a capitalist. I'm capitalizing. Anyway. I didn't know what to talk about today.
Yeah. Do you want to take a call?
Should I take a call?
Sure.
Line 2?
Yep.
All right, line 2. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Buju Nana Buju podcast. You're on the air.
Hello, Nana Buju. It's me, Dr. Fauci.
Oh, hello, Dr. Tony Fauci. Sweetie, it's Mr. Fauci.
Hello, Dr. Fauci.
Hello, Natasha. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing pretty well.
Have you gotten your shots and your booster shots?
No, I'm gonna take my chances.
You should never take chances with your health. You gotta get a shot. If you're not gonna do it for you, do it for everyone else. Do it for me. Do it for the world.
Yeah, we're not into that.
What are you, crazy? You're gonna get us all killed, Nana Buju. Haven't you gotten your vaccinations?
Nah, I don't care.
You gotta get a vaccination, you'll kill us all.
Nah, I don't care.
No, we're gonna mandate it. We're gonna take away your freedoms.
I don't know, man. Number one, I don't trust you because you're obviously CC DeVille. I don't take medical advice, nor do I shoot stuff into my blood from the lead guitarist of Poison. All right?
What? That's preposterous. Nobody knows that about me. I mean, that's not me.
Yeah, obviously. And number two, you torture dogs. Okay? I don't take health advice from guys who pick on dogs.
What do you mean I don't torture dogs? I love dogs. I'm a dog lover.
No, you're not. I've seen the pictures of your lab.
No, that's preposterous. We're doing it for science. We're going to save the world if we don't kill it first.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, so what can I do for you?
Well, I wanted to call in. I was wondering what the Ojibwe word of the day was.
Well, we were talking about the good, the true, and the beautiful. Minnow is something which is good, like Minnow Gija Geb. Minnow Giga Jabe. I can't speak, sweetie.
I know.
Minnow means good. Like, you know, I'll hand it to you, all right? I mean, if you're into that kind of music. You were a good guitar player, a minnow.
Minnow, yeah, thank you very much. You know, I like non-skinny bop, whatever.
Ah, see, you are CC DeVille.
What? Never mind. I didn't mean to say that.
So what is the Debway win, Mr. Fauci? What is the truth?
The truth? The truth is, I developed a cure for the common cold, or the bat flu, or whatever we're calling it now. I'm gonna save the world. That's the Dubway.
Yeah, I doubt it.
All right, what's that other word?
Mick, what is he?
Mick, what is he? Beautiful. You know, my concoctions, they're beautiful things. You just shoot them in your arm, and you get superhuman resistance from the bat flu.
Do you though?
Well, you know the bat flu it evolves. See, so you need to get a booster shot, and then that'll save you.
Oh, will it?
Well, you know, I mean, it's not guaranteed. You still might get it, but you won't pass it so easily.
Oh, you won't?
Well, you can still pass it and you can still get it. But if you get it, it won't be as bad.
Oh, really? Are there side effects?
Yes, there's thousands of side effects, but we're not going to talk about that. Because you can't sue us. It's a perfect scheme.
Yeah, okay. Look, I don't want my channel to get taken down for medical misinformation. So I'm gonna mahjong, all right?
Mahjong, what does that mean?
I'm gonna leave, which means I'm gonna hang up.
Well, wait. One more thing, Nana Buju.
Yeah, what do you want?
How do you say goodbye in Ojibwe?
We don't really say goodbye, because I suspect you'll be calling in again. This is how we say, I will see you again. Gigawabamin, Minowa.
Gigawabamin, Minowa, Nana Buju.
Yeah, okay. Getting kind of sinister.
I know, he scares me.
But yeah, I did see him play once. Went to a Poison concert.
Oh, really? Is Fauci a good guitarist?
Yeah, you know. I mean, Poison music is pretty simple 3-chord. But it's also, it's basically, I mean, I guess now, or after a while, Bret Michaels started playing acoustic guitar and that. But when I saw him, Poison was largely a 3-piece with a lead singer. I mean, he had to play rhythm and lead. That's hard. Anyway. Well, you learned it here first, guys. That's one thing we can say. What is true? Truth? Dubway is that Dr. Fauci is indeed C.C. DeVille. You can try to wrap your head around that all day long. Oh no. My lying eyes deceive me. Really? Okay. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just call the truth as I see it. Dubway. Truth. Symbolized by the Mashike, the turtle. You know what I'm saying, baby?
I know what you're saying.
The government might put smallpox in the vaccines. Yeah. Remember what happened the last time they gave us something for nothing, Indians? Here you go, have some free blankets. We call these the smallpox blankets, but oh, I'm sure we washed them. They'll be fine. Actually, I heard that was a conspiracy theory. That was debunked.
What's that?
The smallpox virus blankets.
Really? They didn't do that?
No. Number one, you know, that wasn't the intent. That would have been really reckless, really casual, bad way of trying to do germ warfare. They could have just released smallpox into the population anytime they wanted. They could have sprayed us at any time. They gave us vaccinations. They could have gave us smallpox through vaccinations. They didn't just, round up the army blankets from smallpox hospitals and go, hey, let's give all these germ-filled blankets to the Indians. Oh, how do we get it out there? Well, let's a whole bunch of non-Indian people, mail it out? Should we drive it out there? Hey, you Indians, you want some free army blankets? We haven't washed them. They were in a hospital with the smallpox. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, wrap your baby in that. We're the evil white government. But, I grew up believing that the U.S. government willfully gave smallpox-infected blankets to the Native Americans. And then I learned later, that never happened. Surrealist is here. Bonjour, Mino Giga Jabe. And thanks again for the super chat last night. We were late. Surrealist slides a 50 across the table. Surrealist is like your auntie who wants to slide you some bingo money but doesn't want your mom to know. So she waits until the show's over and she goes, hey, psst, don't make a thing out of this. But make wedge, we really appreciate it. Surrealist says, I'm still fully vaccinated and boosted and alive. Whoops. The chat's moving too fast. And Dr. Fauci didn't know anything about the dog testing. Oh, didn't he? I bet you believe he wasn't really in poison. You're so naive. Yeah, I don't think he has anything to do with actual science. I think he's just a public speaker. I did hear he was like the highest paid government official somehow. But no, I think he leaves the dog torturing to the scrubs. That's the low-level scientists doing science. Yeah, let's see what happens when we infect ants into the faces of beagles. Was not a conspiracy theory. One of the labs that, belong to Dr. Fauci. But, he's not the only one. That's all of those creepy, mad scientists. Oh, we're going to find cures for diseases by trying them out on animals. Nobody asked the people if they were cool with that. It's like, I think you could even like take a poll of young moms and they go, listen, do you want people trying to find better no-tear shampoo for your baby by testing on puppies? Or will you just be more careful when you shampoo your baby's hair so that it doesn't drip in their eyes? The most moms say, no, that's fine. We don't need you to improve upon no more tears by torturing animals on our behalf. But science is all like, let's see how it reacts. I guess I suddenly realized I'm anti-animal testing. Are you? Are you anti-science? Well, yeah, I guess that's just the least of it. I'm totally anti-science, actually. I've turned into like an Amish guy, doesn't trust it. No. Them doctors. I have faith science. I have Christian science. I have the power of prayer. Any desk left? Any desk? For you, doctor? Yes. The government might put that's what John Redcorn thinks. The government. Well, John, when the government comes, you're going to join my compound? I'm going to build a compound to fight the government. We can get a greenhouse. And a chicken coop? Yeah. And a big old fence around we just have one lot. But we have a corner lot, so. Hey, you know what we can do when the government comes? And when the society breaks down in a Mad Max? What are we going to do? Let's build an old-fashioned log fort. Like in the old days. We'll just cut down a bunch of log trees and then carve them sharp at the tips so people can't climb over. And then we'll have to get some of my redneck buddies who own guns to join our militia, our compound or something. But then we can just, we'll have eggs and spinach, and then we'll black market the rest of the commercial items we need, like peanut butter and. Oh, we'll grow some wheat. We're gonna need a lot of more land to grow wheat. It's coming, though. The apocalypse is coming. We got to get ready. We got to prepare. Have you built a bomb shelter yet, sweetie? I'm not digging a bomb shelter. You dig a bomb shelter. That's a lot of work. Hey, we have a bomb shelter. Do we? Well, we got that little room underneath the house by the water heater. We can go down there. That's gross. There's a lot of cobwebs. Yeah. Anyway. So what do you think, sweetie? You want to get up here? Sure. All right. We'll play a song for the people. Oh, crap. We don't have a song for the people, do we? We already played it. I got to find a song right quick, sweetie. What are you going to play? I don't know. If we're really fast about this, I could just dazzle them with a commercial. All right. What? Once again, we're looking for videos instead of preparing for the show. I know. But we can prepare all day, Let's see. It's a short one. It doesn't have to be real long. How about we play... Oh, how about this? This is great. What? You and Paul Stanley. No, don't play that again. Yeah, I like it. You mean, ooh, la, 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 la. Yeah. I thought I just saw it. Ooh, la, 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 la. Or I could play the Elvis Presley clip. Oh, the one where Elvis is still alive? Yeah. Or there's Paul Stanley. Okay, tell you what. Okay. This has nothing to do with anything. Monty Python was a sketch show in the 1970s. That had sound, but how am I going to do this? They were so far ahead of their time.
What? I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta. What? It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies.
You want to have babies?
It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them.
But you can't have babies.
Don't you oppress me.
I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry.
What's the point?
What?
What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies?
It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression. Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
All right, here I come. Woohoo! How's it going? It's symbolic of our struggle for a fight against oppression. We're living in the transpocalypse. But that was like in the mid-70s when they did that movie. So far ahead of their time. And, the English have always had kind of a mature relationship with the whole men dressing as women stuff since way back in like the Shakespeare days and stuff. And so, yeah, they were just years ahead of their time. But now, did you hear about this? That the Babylon Bee is a comedy YouTube show or something, or a newspaper, I don't know. And they did a joke of, they called Rachel Levine the Man of the Year. And Twitter suspended their account.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's not allowed humor anymore. Rachel Levine is, okay, what am I going to do? Now I'm doing it, sweetie.
You started it, or I started it.
I know. So Rachel Levine, speaking of beautiful, speaking of good and true and beautiful, is the Lieutenant General, I forget, a stunning and brave woman. So Rachel Levine was named Woman of the Year. She has some job in the government. Something to do with health and human services, or I don't even know what that means. But she wears like a Navy outfit. And listen to me, I'm calling her she. And he's actually a guy. But he identifies as a woman, so we call her a transgendered woman. And she was named Woman of the Year from, I don't know what, the New York Times or People Magazine or something. Woman of the Year. And so Babylon Bee says, hey, guess what? We nominate Rachel Levine as Man of the Year. Is that insulting? Yeah. Oh, how dare you? Because the joke is, what? This dude is biologically male. There's nothing wrong with that. But it just kind of pointed out the truth. And so Twitter, serving their master Baphomet or whatever, shut them down. They said you can turn your Twitter back on if you take down that insensitive joke, that hateful joke. It's like, why? Why can't you, I'd like to nominate Rachel Levine for Tartar Control Woman of the Year. Oof. Okay, I'm done.
We're torturing our audience.
What? It's symbolic of our fight for oppression. She's got the right to have babies. We gotta fight for the right for men to have babies and be Woman of the Year. And just dominate in every sport. You could have like a 6-foot-tall dude with, hair shorter than yours. Everything else about him except what he says is totally male. He wins first place in the swimming race, and we all gotta clap. Hey, good for you, sister. Tear it up. But then I was like wondering, well, who cares? I don't, Who won last year in that category of swimming? I don't care. I don't care about swimming. Let him, why should I weigh in? Well, I care about the truth. That's why, sweetie.
Take it easy.
I'm not going to take it easy.
You're getting emotional.
Why? Because I'm a woman?
Yeah, you gotta be more like a guy. Let's calm down. Don't get hysterical.
How dare you? That's pretty good. We're fighting now.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to pretend to fight to see if we can do it. Hey, I got a right for my opinions.
I know you have your rights, but I'm just saying as a man, I don't let my emotions control me. And as a woman, you're getting hysterical because that's how you ladies are. No, we're not. You can't say that. Yeah. Okay, I lost some steam. Anyway, the truth. I care about the truth. Deb Waywin. And if nothing else, living in these transpocalypse times, it's kind of like the war on art, on what is beautiful, what is true. There is truth and beauty in the world. But like, people are being brainwashed to not be able to tell. You'll have Nancy Pelosi and Ocasio-Cortez. What's her name? I forget her first name. Sandy? No, she's got like a pretty first name. Ocasio-Cortez, whatever, that really beautiful girl. Whatever you think of her politics or her mind doesn't matter. She is beautiful. And there's Nancy Pelosi. Well, in play company, they'd say, oh, you women, you're both beautiful. Nope. One is, and one is Nancy Pelosi. And so the lie is that there is no such thing as ugly. Manadud. In art, in people, and if there is no truth, then you wanted the worst, you got it. Then this is just as beautiful as Maria Ocasio-Cortez. Olivia Ocasio... What is her name? Sandy Ocasio-Cortez. She's got like a Hispanic first name, doesn't she? It's weird we can't remember.
What's her name? She's a dingbat, but anyway, so there's got to be truth. But this represents, there is no truth in life. You know, what is good, true, and beautiful? Well, you might be very good at your job. I don't know. But the truth is, this ain't beautiful. That's all I'm saying. And having said that, let me say this. I don't know, sweetie. What are we doing?
I don't know. We got to get off this subject of beauty.
I know. All I did last night was go on a diatribe about fat shaming the world. I can't let people know how surface and shallow I really am.
You're not shallow.
I'm terribly shallow. But I gotta speak the truth. I think Judy Ocasio-Cortez, what is her name? I think she's beautiful. Alexandria! Thank you, Missy. Cousin Missy coming through. Thanks, Miss. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is a story of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She grew up in the poor part of the Spanish village known as, I don't know where she's from. And she used to work day and night at the bar, trying to earn enough money to buy herself a white gown so that one day she could go to the fancy ball. They call it the Washington Press Corps or something. And she dreamed. But all the while, she was just like that girl with the mean half-sisters.
Um,
And the Good Witch.
Oh, Cinderella?
Yeah, she was like Cinderella, working at the bar. I play nights in the Spanish part of town. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she'd work for tips. But then one day, she was looking through the want ads. She was wrapping fish. That's what it was. She was cleaning fish. And she was wrapping it in some newspaper. And she saw in the newspaper, wanted. political government official type. What is she, a mayor?
I think she's a state senator.
She's state senator wanted. No fatties need apply. And so she went, hey, I'm not fat. And she sent in her mugshot. She sent in, a glossy, and on the back were her measurements and stuff. And they said, hey, why don't you come in for an interview? And she goes, where do I go? And they said, to the Democratic National Convention. Well, she got her stuff together, put on some makeup, put on some shoes, a nice outfit, business outfit, went to the interview. And who's there? Harvey Weinstein. The guy who Meryl Streep called God. Never forget, Meryl Streep thinks Harvey Weinstein is literally God. And never forget that Gwen Paltrow, Iron Man's girlfriend, 3 times with Harvey Weinstein. So, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gets to the interview and she's like, oh, I really want this job. How can I become a Democratic senator or whatever I am? And he goes, well, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. And she goes, no, your back's all hairy and it's got zits and stuff. My back is all lovely and, tan in Spanish. And he goes, okay, well, let's see, how dirty do I want to make this story?
Not dirty at all. We're a children's show.
And he says, okay, well, you've got some good ideas about how to improve the world, so tell you what, you can run for office, and together we'll take on climate change, we'll shut down those oil pipelines, and we'll empower women to finally get a fair share of that sweet junior. Because women only make 70 cents to $1.
They only earn 70 cents to $1.
They only make, that's what I meant.
No, that implies that the patriarchy is paying women less. It's not true. Everyone knows that. Sometimes you're so stupid. Sweetie, I was kidding.
Yeah, okay.
No, I was just pretending. I thought we would jump into pretending to fight.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's real funny. Not a bullshit.
Sweetie.
No. The sun'll come out tomorrow. I was acting.
Sweetie, I totally believed you.
We could do this. All right, coming up this summer. When we were reading the smoke signals thing, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But that reminded me, we got enough characters here. And Paul Stanley. We can film. We could do an adaptation of Smoke Signals. That would be so funny.
Do you want to do it?
Yes, and I think I can act.
I don't think you can act.
Yeah, I think I can.
All right.
Anyway, so then Alexandria Ocasio, she grows up and she wins the election and everybody's happy. And then one day there is indeed the Washington Press Corps ball of celebrities and rich people. And she wore that beautiful dress. I guess a fairy godmother came and made it for her, or a bunch of mice made it. Can't remember. But then she wrote in red ink on the back, "Tax the rich." And this is the story of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Beautiful. Mika, what is he? On the outside. But on the inside, she's all valley girl.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. What am I talking about? I gotta get out of here, sweetie.
I'm so hungry.
I know, me too. We haven't eaten since lunch yesterday. Didn't we eat any supper? I had one little bun with peanut butter and honey on it. And some chips. That's all I ate for supper last night. Let's go to Country Kitchen. We're going to Country Kitchen. If you'd like mediocre food at fancy restaurant prices, come to Country Kitchen in Bemidji. We're not. I just got to make it clear, we're not sponsored by Country Kitchen. For as much as we talk about it, they make us buy our own meals. Anyway, so today's word was Neogisha. Fourth day. Minnow is good. The way wins the truth. Meek, what is he? Is beautiful. Mudgy Manadu, a bad spirit. Mudgy is a bad. Kiwanimo is a lie. Monadad. I think I'm going to call it Monadad. Oh, gee, Monadad. Oh, you're ugly. No. Oh, you're just ugly. And, finally... Oh, smoke signals. Whoops. I was supposed to start with this. What'd I do with the smoke signals picture? The sun'll come out tomorrow. I don't have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, never mind. Buena is smoke. Namasin is to leave a sign of one's presence. Namasin would be what I think. So, Bukwena. Bukwene. Wene is what must be, huh?
Yeah, because E's are A.
Bukwene Namasin. Bukwene Namasin. Smoke signals. Oh, and here's one more thing about truth and lies and history. Yeah, haven't you grown up kind of assuming that Indians used to do smoke signals by, they'd make a campfire, they'd get a blanket and kind of go puff, 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 and then hold it and puff, puff, puff. And what? They were doing like, Morse code. Puff, puff, pause, puff, puff, pause. I don't think that was ever real. I think that's a lie. I think a smoke signal was when you had a campfire, it signaled to people far away that there were people there. It was a smoke signal. You could tell, there's a campfire way off in the distance. That's signaling that there's a person there. It's a smoke signal. That's one thing it does. I don't think Indians were communicating with campfires going, hey, what do you know? Old Running Elk is writing in smoke signal. See, ... pause, cloud, pause, cloud. Let me translate that. Oh, he's saying it's time for us to leave.
Is he saying it's time for the show to be over?
Yeah. So, there's another childhood myth I stopped believing in. Perkins is better. It probably is. But I gotta walk farther to get to Perkins. So I just go to Country Kitchen. And besides, Country Kitchen. You gotta support the hood. I'm straight out of Northwest Bemidji.
Yeah, that's right. This is our hood, sweetie.
This is our territory. This is our land. It's all Indian land. I hate it when on Facebook you'll see somebody in Canada and they'll show like a bridge somewhere and someone's painted the words on it. This is Indian land. And I always want to go, yeah, I can tell. You know why? Because there's huge graffiti everywhere. And besides, shut up. What, going the other way? Is there a sign that says, okay, now this is white land. This is no longer Indian land. Or are you still claiming that's all Indian? Yeah, okay. When do we get specific? This is Dakota land if you want to split hairs. Until the Ojibwe came. But before that, it was probably somebody else's land. So shut up with your, this is Indian land. Are you crabby? Yeah, I'm really hungry. This is Indian land. Well, this is a hungry Indian. I gotta go get some food. Listen, anyway, Nimbuckaday. I am hungry. Nimbuckaday. I'm hungry. Wisanida. Let's eat. And these have been your Ojibwe phrases of the day. You want to add anything? Nah. What about you, Rockstar? Remind them to support the show. Okay. Hey, everyone. Miigwech Bisandawieg. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support the show, we've got Patreon, PayPal, and GoFundMe links in the description. Michael Lyons has books for sale on Amazon.com, books and comics. And we also accept super chats during the live stream, and we have a Teespring. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to talk about Duluth.
Well, we haven't done anything about that yet, so we should.
Okay. Missy, remind me to tell you about UND. And having said that, Miigwech Ganawabieg. Thank you for watching Boozhoo Not a Boozhoo. I am Natasha. This is Not a Boozhoo.
Okay, miigwech.
Michael Lyons. Thanks. And I will see you again. Gigawaba Min. Minawa. Hoa. All right, sweetie pie. One last time.
One to teleport.
Make it so, number one.